So the Houston Rockets got a dub against the hated Dallas Mavericks in a game that was close and not close, then really close towards the end, and it came down to us making more shots and getting more stops than they did. There are some key things that I'm seeing trending for the Rockets right now, and I'm going to talk about those right after this. So if y'all didn't know, the Chop Shop merch store is officially open. The link to the store is going to be in the description of this video. Go to the merch store and check out the catalog that we have developed for you guys. We got on there some great t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers. You can buy stuff for yourself, for your spouses, for your children. My favorite right now is the Jatari t-shirt, and you can check that out at the store. Great t-shirt, little concept with the Dragon Ball Z fusion thing. I'm an old Dragon Ball Z head, so you know we love to get that on there. You can check out the JG4 Astro Boy t-shirt, and you know, just check out all the great designs on there for all the other stuff that you like to see. This is just the beginning, so if you guys want to support the Chop Shop, go ahead and hit up the merch store. Drop you a couple dollars and pick you up something that you like. So how I'm gonna do this breakdown, I'm gonna go through each player and give you a synopsis of what I thought about how they played and some of the things that I'm excited about, and some things that I'm not. We'll start off just based on how NBA.com has them laid out in the box scores from the game. The first person is Eric Gordon. Mr. Eric Gordon shot 33% from the field, 13 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. I'm getting to the point, I think there was a story out that he was involved in trade rumors between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. We need to get bro out of here. It's not because, we dislike Eric Gordon or Eric Gordon's a bad player. It's because Eric Gordon overlaps as a vet with what we're trying to do. It's one thing for him to come off the bench and be able to provide that veteran leadership in a bench role where he can kind of supplement some of our needs on the second unit, which he really does a good job doing. The problem is that Eric Gordon overlaps with what Jalen and Kevin Porter actually do. He's a scoring guard. When you have that and the coach that insists to play him, and Coach Silas said that Eric Gordon is an extension of him on the court, then that means that Eric Gordon is going to get his minutes. He's going to get his minutes. He's going to get opportunities to impact winning. And honestly, on the team that we have now, that's not the type of vet that I need. I need a vet that's going to extenuate some of the weaknesses of our players, not overlap them. So, not a terrible game from him. He was kind of not great on rebounding. The shot wasn't there today, but he didn't do anything to actively hurt the team. So we'll give him a C rating for this game just because he didn't shoot so well. Jabari Smith Jr. coming in with 10 points, 9 rebounds. This is, I think, the third or fourth consecutive game that Jabari is really, really rebounding well. And this is, one thing, the blueprint for me for Jabari, all I want to see for him right now is defensive effort, rebounding intensity. If he loses that, then I'm worried. The shot is going to come, guys. I keep telling y'all the shot is going to be there. Don't worry about his shot. What you need to worry about is everything else with Jabari. Is he able to play? And today he was playing hellacious defense on the perimeter. They're starting to use him more on his strengths, which is playing that perimeter defense. He's one of the best perimeter defensive players out of his class. And I think that was the view that we saw in Summer League when he came into the season and they were using him as a drop big. Once again, it's just a mixture of him not knowing how to play that because he's not used to it, and to me, mismanagement of a talented piece. That is not his superpower. Maybe it will be in a couple of years, but that is not his superpower. So his shooting is still up and down, but he was able to get some nice shots up today in rhythm of the offense. One of the beautiful ones that I saw, finally, one of our guards, Jalen, was able to get him on a pick and pop in rhythm, not a delayed where the guard gets all the way to the paint and has to look for a bailout. It was in the rhythm of the roll where he pops out. So he set the screen, he acted like he was going to roll, then he popped out for the shot, and right on time, the delivery of the pass was in his breadbasket. He was able to shoot that up, get a nice shot in rhythm. Those are good for shooters, right? Some guys like to dribble to get into rhythm. Some guys like to, get to the free throw line. Some people like to drive. Some people got to get a certain amount of shots up. For guys like Jabari their game is predicated on shooting, It's the rhythm of the shot. That means getting it when he's coming off a screen, getting it when he pops out from that pick and roll, getting it when he's in movement. So I'd like to see more creativity for Coach Silas to do that for Jabari. But I'm telling you guys, when he is right, when he gets right and he gets acclimated to the NBA, you're going to see a different team, because he has largely been the reason why we're kind of sucky too. A lot of the estimates of how many games we thought we were going to win were based on thinking Jabari Smith was going to be better than he is right now, but we're going to give him the growth curve that we gave Jalen Green. So good game from him. I want to see more. I think you were going to keep seeing more. He's going to have a 30-point game this season. Y'all just watch. It's coming. Y'all watch. Mark my words, it'll happen. Alperen Sengun, impressive game from him. This might be his best defensive game that I've ever seen him play. I mean, he was contesting at the rim. He had 5 blocks. Sengun, 50% from the field, 80% from the free throw line. He had only 1 assist, but 7 rebounds, 14 points. Those 5 blocks were done not in anything just crazy. He was just in good position. And for players like Sengun, for all the things that people try to take away from his defensive issues that he has right now, he's still a young player. And I always use the comparison of the Gasols as a comp for him, because the Gasol comparison isn't based on size. People say, well, Marc Gasol is like 7 foot. That's really not why he was good. He was good because he was a big body, which Sengun will be, and he's still growing. He's going to get bigger, more girthier. But he was also somebody that was smart and was able to anticipate where guys are going to be, and where they're going to be on their drives, where they're going to be when they try to make certain moves. And that comes with experience and time. And for Alp, that is something that he's going to get. He has the IQ to do that. He's going to be one of those guys where he can beat you to your spot. That's the only way he's going to be a plus defender, where he can be part of a top 5 defense like Gasol was, even later into Gasol's career. Gasol was never a great athlete. He was never anybody that could jump over a piece of paper. The thing that he would do is use his body. Go watch the 2019 finals against Golden State when he was isolated, because Golden State tried to pick on him. And what he did was put his body in position. And when he was being overmatched, they just didn't play him. So this is the vision you see from Alp, and I'm seeing it. He's learning to get more comfortable, which just makes the whole Bruno thing more asinine. Hopefully nothing crazy happens with that when Bruno's healthy, but I need to see more of him and Jalen Green together, because they also had a lot of great chemistry in this game, and I'll talk about that when I talk about Jalen. But Sengun, good game from him. Was able to hold down the fort with those 5 blocks, and did a really good job just securing the paint and playing good team defense. Kevin Porter Jr., mixed bag for him, mixed bag. He almost lost us the game, but then he hit big shots later on. To me, he's a bucket. That's why I'm going to call him. I'm not excited about his play as the lead ball handler for the team, even in this victory. I'm not a hater. You guys know I'm very objective, but I have not seen the strides that I want to see in that department. And it's not really just him as a basketball player. As a basketball player, he's taken leaps and bounds. I mean, the kid is really, really grown in this game. The things that I'm not seeing are just the ability to be able to understand time and context during the middle of a game, understanding where your guys are on the court, being able to make complex reads and manipulating the defense. Obviously, these are things that you can learn over a long period of time. I just don't know if he has that time to do that. And I don't think he may not have the prerequisite floor vision to be able to be one of those guys that can do that on a high level on the big stage. But I do love what I see for him on the offensive end as a guy that can score in a multitude of ways. In the third quarter, he got a little too ISO heavy, a little too, he got in his bag on taking a lot of shots. And, I think that was a detriment to the team, even when they put him with the well-known Goon squad now, which is Tari, KJ, and Garuba. He almost made that group have a bad net rating because he wasn't using their superpowers to his advantage, which is ball movement, cutting, transition. He would slow it down and try to shoot into the teeth of multiple defenders. But when it was time to go towards the end of the game, he got to do what he got to do, which is make buckets. And to me, all that just tells me he's a guy that can score. then they need to use him accordingly. He needs that other person on the court with him to help with the playmaking, where they can share those duties. And there's no secret or no surprise why the best lineups for Kevin Porter Jr. are the ones where he's aligned with Sengun, who they try to not give him that lineup put with Bruno. Go look at the numbers. When him and Sengun are on the court together, those are pretty much his only positive lineups. There might be one low usage lineup with a couple of plays that he has some positives, but the main high usage positive lineups feature him and Alperen Sengun for him. But overall, he had 11 assists. Eight assists, 11 rebounds. He was rebounding the hell out of the ball. Great for him. 3 blocks, 5 turnovers. Need those turnovers to creep down. I think that once he learns to trust some of his teammates, then those will go down some as well. Next player is Jalen Green. Jalen had a pretty good game. He had a good game, not shooting wise, but as far as activity, defensively, intensity, playing hard. He tried a couple things that I liked with the playmaking, and I'm here for that. I honestly think that him and KPJ should split those duties almost down the middle, because Jalen has shown that he has a great vision, and there's some synergy there between him and Alp that I really want to explore and see how that can go. Their two-man game is really exciting to see. Jalen has a great pocket pass in the pick and roll. He had a pass where he whipped it across when he was in with the Goon squad on a read to where the help was coming from. He tries some passes and gets some turnovers. Most of his turnovers are just like because he's kind of weak right now physically, but as he gets stronger, when he gets in the paint, a lot of those will go away. But mixed bag game from him, but he was still a positive and he played hard on defense. Love that he's been getting so many rebounds and assists in the past few games. Another 5+ game assist for him, another 5+ rebound game. He's going to have to be one of those guys. You can't just be a scorer. There's a bunch of scorers in the NBA. There's guys that can go get you 40, 30 if you give them enough opportunities. But what else can you do? Can you make for your teammates? Can you get a stop on defense, and can you pass? And can you rebound? And I think that I'm loving seeing him being able to do that. I think that led to the victory. Daishen Nix, even though he was a -7 and had a couple of head scratchers, he's learning to play his role more. I didn't like how he ended the third quarter. He milked the clock twice too late and caused 2 turnovers because of that. But otherwise, just him being a complimentary piece, especially when he's out there with the Goon squad, is something that I can live with. Only 2 shot attempts. I'm cool with that. He went 1 for 2 from 3. One of them was a off the dribble 3, which he should never attempt. He's a great catch and shoot 3-point shooter. 0. He didn't get to the line any. He only had 1 rebound, only 1 assist. But what are you going to do? You're going to live with that. He's just there to kind of be a linking player for Jalen when they're in that Goon squad lineup, which I love. Tari Eason, mixed bag game for him. Always plays with intensity. Good things happen when you do that, when you play hard. But he 3 of 5 from the field, but he does get a bit tunnel vision, but he's a rookie. If he can rein in some of that stuff and clean that up over the next year and off season, I think this dude has really high potential as a 3-and-D wing, and a dynamic one at that, not just a regular wing like just stands in a corner. He's a demon in transition, can handle, can facilitate. Exciting stuff about him. I probably got to dig into him a little bit more and look at some film on him and see what really makes that Goon Squad lineup work, because they got something going there. KJ, man, I can't say enough about this kid. 10 points, 2 big blocks. He went 4 or 5 from the field, 1 from 3. He is the catalyst to the Goon Squad, him and Garuba. But KJ in transition is just a transition god. He is shooting better, ball handling better, playmaking. He's one of our best drive and kick players. He's a guy. He's a guy. The price on a brick don't went up on KJ Martin. It's not going to be a late second rounder anymore. And if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be worth a first round pick. And this is a guy we drafted in the 50s in the second round. So, great development arc for him right now. And he's only 21 years old. That's why the whole Tate KJ thing was always a surprise to me. Like, this dude is 21. You know what I mean? What are we doing here? Tate is damn near 30. So loving the KJ play right now. He is just he's doing everything, man. And I would love to see him start, because every single lineup this guy's in is a plus. everything he does is a plus on the court. He does everything you want from a role player. He cuts, he plays hard defense, he helps on the weak side, he runs in transition, he knows his role, he hits his shots. Can't say anything else for him. Great play from him. Usman Garuba, man of the hour. Usman Garuba is one of my game ball receivers. He gets a game ball for just being better. I was so low on Uzi and last year, and I didn't expect much from him this year, but what we're seeing from him is really exciting. He has so much potential with his passing and his defense that it just gives me flashes. And I think one of my friends on Twitter, Mike, had called it out that he needs to go work with Draymond, and I can see a lot of that in this game, man. The passing, the short roll passing is going to be something that's going to be deadly with Usman and Jalen in the future. And I love when Jalen is out there with that Goon squad, because the screen and roll with him and KJ and Usman is just nasty. It's nasty. I got to look up the numbers on that. Probably on the next podcast, I'll talk about that. But Usman went 5 of 5, perfect from the field, a plus 16, tied for the team high with KPJ, 12 points, 9 hard rebounds, 3 big blocks, hit 2 big threes. Just a great game from him. J Gup came in with just 4 minutes. Mixed bag for him in those 4 minutes. I think he needs more minutes to play. But I mean, when he does get in, he can't be doing boneheaded stuff. But I think he's one of those guys that he needs to play to get that out of his system, if that makes sense. I hope they do find some minutes for him, but if they don't, I'm not going to be mad, because there's so many guys playing well right now. If you move Eric Gordon, then you can find minutes for Josh Christopher, right? So that's why it's important. We got to get EG out of here for his sake. Get him out of here. Get him to a contender. Get him to the Suns. Get him to Milwaukee, wherever he wants to go. Last 2 guys, Boban and Garrison, DNPs. Good job, Coach Silas. That's why I gave Coach Silas a game ball. He almost pitched the perfect game with his rotations. He almost pitched a perfect game. The KPJ thing was the only notch I'll give him. He kept him a bit too long when he almost choked away the lead. But when he subbed in Nix for him, it kind of stopped the bleeding and allowed them to kind of get a little bit of cushion on before he came back in. The game should not have been as close as it was, because we were turning the ball over like crazy, having 20 turnovers to Dallas is only having 6. Right? How do you win a game where you have 20 to 6 turnovers? You win it by playing good defense. You win it by running in transition. You win it by not playing guys like Garrison, Mathews, and Boban to get eaten up. You win it by good rotations and putting guys in position to be successful. And I think for this game, this is probably the most I've seen Coach Silas do that. But it was a good game, a good win. These are the type of games, and if they had lost this game and it was close, this is still a good experience, because they got to fight. You know what I mean? They got to fight and fight through, learn doing good things. I want them to win or lose doing good things, because that's where you learn. If you win or lose doing bad habits, you're just a loser, right? And you're going to keep losing. But if you keep doing good things and you're just not good enough to win, that's okay, because you keep chopping that wood, that tree is going to fall at some point. And that's what we want. We want them to learn to win in possessions that matter to them, whether it's against a team that's Western Conference Finals appear from the previous year, or the Orlando Magic. Win or lose, providing good habits, and that's what I want to see from the team. So I was pleased with this game. There are still some things. The Kevin Porter tunnel vision isolation thing, I think is at some point is going to be a detriment to the team. They need to reel him in, and I think the best way to do that is move Eric Gordon out and bring in another ball handler that is in Daishen Nix into the team to help him out. Play him more with Sengun, so he has a secondary offensive creator with him on the court, so he doesn't feel like he has to do everything, because we need to put him in position to be successful as well. I want KPJ to be successful. I want him to be successful, but not at the detriment of the team. So they need to find a balance for that. But what did y'all think about the game? We got a dub. You can't be mad. These are rare and few and in between. So let me know what you thought about the game. Let me know in the comments of this video. And keep rocking with the Chop Shop for all the fire content and basketball takes that you like.